Okay, let's just admit it. I'm sure we all feel that there are just not enough hours in the day. Despite the fact that time is perhaps the most sought after resource available for our use, many people are not the best at spending it wisely. My project is an attempt to give the learner background information on the three major pillars of time management, coupled with 9 strategies that will help you get started on your journey to better time management. The last thing I need to do is finish inputting my audios for the purposes of this pitch. I'm going to talk you through it. At this point in the project, you can see that I used a lot of timing mechanisms. A lot of the words disappear and lots of animations were used. Here's one of the opportunities for interactivity for the user. If you do not type your name, I used a layer to show that you have to put your name in order to move on to the next section. And again, this just lets me guide the user as far as what I want them to accomplish. Once you press the next button, I used an entry where the user's name is popped up in the beginning. I think that allows for a little bit more personal touch so the user feels like they are a part of the lesson. Here again, I use the use of expressions and highlighting in the different states. And once you click on a user, if you click a second one, again, it will let you know via the use of layers that you can only select one teacher. In order to abide by the ADA rules that we spoke about in class earlier this semester, I did allow for one audio option. All the rest of these three teachers, they do not have an audio option, so the user will be doing a lot of reading. However, on this one, I'll be using my own voice to make sure that the reader and the student can hear what is happening as well as be able to read. So here, again, I've used the use of timings and the changings of the states. The teacher is directing your attention over to the left side of your screen, where again, this will be read to you if you choose the audio version. The next button I also have on a timer, so that way I can make sure the reader really is focusing on what the slide is saying. Once the reader finishes or the audio has finished, they will be given an opportunity to move to the next slide. So here the definition of time management is given, and I went a little more into detail about the different aspects of time management, just trying to get the student ready to move on to the next portion. Again, in the audio section, the first option that the reader, I keep saying the reader, that the student is able to choose, there will be an audio option so they can hear me walk them through these things and they won't have to do as much reading. Once the reader is ready to move on, yet again, they can press the next button. And here we are introduced to the three pillars of time management. After choosing one of these three pillars, either organizing, applying, or prioritizing, the user is given further information about each one. Once the information is given, they are then prompted to return to the tab screen to choose another pillar. Once they have all been visited, the user will then proceed to the 9 tips for time management. Again, by the use of layers, you are not allowed to choose more than one tab at a time. So after choosing the first tab, again, I also used a hover option. So after choosing one tab, you move on to the next and a whole new scene pops up. The reader will be given a chance to go over this material. There are about 3 slides per pillar. And again, once they get to the last slide, they'll be given an option to go back home where they will start right where they left off. So then hopefully they'll move on to prioritizing, which again will have the same setup about the different slides, 3 to 4 pieces of information, and then back home. The last slide is applying, and here, same setup, you get lots of information, and then you'll click next where you will be headed over to the 9 strategies of time management. The 9 strategies that the user will be given will hopefully prepare them to make better decisions as far as time management is concerned. After each tip has been visited, they will advance to the quiz portion of their presentation. This was the timeline slide that was given as a part of Articulate, and it lets you go through each of the 9 strategies. Once you get done with this, you'll move on to the quiz portion of the presentation. The thing I like most about this project is that the information located within it can be applied to virtually anybody who struggles with time management. The original intention of the project was aimed at high school students, but in speaking with other educators and parents, it was expressed that even adults struggle with the concept of time management, often stating they were never formally taught how to manage their time. In fact, many have said experience is the best teacher when it comes to learning how to effectively manage their time. If you've ever found yourself making a similar statement and now feel as though you can take away one or more of the strategies you've learned, I feel as though my job is complete. I hope you enjoyed the pitch and will take the time to walk through the course on your own. Please leave any feedback you may have in the discussion board, and thank you very much for watching.